Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. It feels weird to almost be rooting for a Battlegrounds loss, but I didn't want this video to be a video where I just showed you all my Battlegrounds wins and was like, hey, this isn't worth it. Because, quite honestly, if you're somebody who cares about Battlegrounds, then yeah, it seems like it would be worth it. And I thought, somebody I've known about for years, I haven't thought about in years, but Monkey D. Luffy, I got my first L today, 3 rounds. I did win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row before that. And I have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 8 of my last 10. But I've made it to the victory track, obviously, every time because you start on the victory track. But I've made Gladiator Circuit 3 times in my career. And the truth of the matter is, the difference in season rewards between like the second or even third tier that I got in Gladiator Circuit versus not making it out of the diamond tier of the victory track was almost nothing. And when I realized that, it was honestly so demoralizing that I wondered why I had cared so much in the first place. And when I say care, I mean cash. Because this Battlegrounds deck is only possible because I've spent well over $20,000 on this account. Now, my YouTube channel has made much more than that. So I can say that with some level of responsible Marvel gambling, although I'm sure several people would say that is still not responsible. It's easy to say that, though, if you don't have it. I, before this YouTube channel, spent less than $500 total, and even then I felt like that could have bought a computer console worth of money. So it was hard to justify it. But I look at it this way. I use this account every day. And so whenever I make a purchase on it, I know I'm going to get the most of it, especially if I'm targeting one of these champions, because it's what I do every day. Now, sometimes I don't get the best luck when it comes to the matchups in Battlegrounds, or sometimes I just don't do well when it comes to selecting champions. And I feel like the Battlegrounds is often won or lost depending on the last matchup, and I thought I had a 50-50 shot, and then the very last matchup, Monkey got Human Torch. And so I was left in round 3 with feeling screwed, because Human Torch is the best, arguably, counter for Absorbing Man, and I knew that the only attackers I had left were Mystic, because I think I had Kushal and Absorbing Man if I put Hercules on defense, and so he could have put down Human Torch and I would have automatically lost. So it basically was going to be an L no matter what. Mojo also was a pretty good defender when I didn't have a science counter, because I used that on, stupidly, on Scorpion. I probably should have just taken the L on this, because I didn't realize how fast Scorpion's stun time. I thought I could stun lock him, and that was not the case. So I probably should have saved Hulk for that, and then just probably sacrificed, this matchup, and probably used Hercules as the last counter. I think that might have been smart, although then he might have used. I don't know. I think I was just destined to lose this one. But my point is, Kabam wants you to look at Battlegrounds and say, hey, this is why you should spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on whale holidays like spring cleaning. And it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. And we get so much incredible stuff this year, especially if you're one of the top 2 progression levels in Paragon and Valiant. We get 900,000 of these Deadpool poolies that are going to be amazing. For us Valiant players, we're going to get 2 Tier 4 Alpha, and for those of you who are Paragon, you're still going to get 1, which is by far, and I know it's a lot of work and a lot of time, and you got to do objectives, but without spending cash, it's the best we've ever seen. And I want to give Kabam credit where credit's due. That's fantastic. I personally don't have any Tier 4 Alpha now. In fact, I always feel like it's hiding because it's not by the Tier 3 Alpha when I pull this up in a video. I see Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. I don't even know, because I have like literally, I think, 0 Tier 4 Alpha Catalyst Fragments. I don't even know if until you have one, it even appears. My my inventory currently shows the Tier 4 Alpha don't exist, which is really strange. But point being, I'll have 2 out of 3. Now, the next 7-star I'm looking to rank up, and you might think this is crazy, but I do not, is Deathless Guillotine. I am targeting everything to rank her up. She is so good, and when I fight horrible champs that I hate to fight that are cosmic, like the Serpent, even defenders like Galen can sometimes be tricky. Adam Warlock is one I've fought a couple times recently. I just really like using her, and so I want her to be rank 3. But is it worth me getting into a bunch of debt to do it? No. No, it's worth doing the free stuff and getting close. Now, I do have some budget. I think it's a couple $100 for this weekend. And so I will be targeting the 3rd and final Tier 4 Alpha and probably some Tier 6 Class Catalyst selectors to make the Mystic one as well. But it's just not worth it. It's not worth gambling to catch up. I know that there are what's called, and mine is one of them, credit card accounts in Battlegrounds, where you want one. But again, if you're having fun with the game and you're not doing well in Battlegrounds, that's okay. That's okay. If you have the money, by all means spend it. But don't feel like you either have to retire or catch up in terms of spending money you don't have to be at the top, because the top is all a myth anyway. I mean, this is an account that I do not own. I am renting code. Every one of these champions is just code. And at any point, Kabam can tell me that the game servers are gone, or for that matter, I can't have access to my account, and I can't do anything about it. It's their sandbox. I just get to play in it. So I don't want people out there to feel like they have to keep spending to catch up. Last year during July 4th sales, we saw specifically the most whale offers ever. And for the people who did not spend during that, or who could not afford to spend, they went from being about where everybody else was to never catching up. And we lost quite a few amazing summoners after July 4th last year. And I feel like that's just kind of started this downward spiral of long-time whales saying, I can't spend hundreds of dollars every couple months on an account to keep up. But my response is, then don't. Play this game. If you're a free-to-play player, keep playing it. If you're a casual spender, honestly, I still think July 4th sales in a couple months, about less than 3 specifically, more like closer to 2. Those will be where you want to spend the cash, and you'll get units to spend, whereas traditionally Cyber Weekend and July 4th have the units, and Spring Cleaning has the Deadpool currency. They do give you some units, but you don't use those units on the store, you use the poolies. So, hide the temptation, YouTube. Don't fret about it. You'll be thankful you didn't. And hopefully, this video helps somebody out make a controlled, reasonable decision.